And now we move up to the top of the pipe for the women's final, run number 1. This is Sena Tomita versus Maddie Mastro. So Maddie Mastro is your number 1 seed. She's been riding phenomenal all day, but just recently we have seen some very high scores, scoring in the 90s from Sena Tomita, so she has got to be feeling a lot of momentum and a lot of confidence, as she will be the first rider to drop here.
Momentum is the key word. I feel like Sena Tomita in that last heat kicked it into a different gear, and she's rising and gaining momentum at the right time.
You know what is cool about this too, T-Bird, is she just put down just a hammer of a run. And then she's going back up. Yeah, endurance is key here, but also just that momentum too. Like, how often do you get to see these riders put together these types of difficult runs back to back to back to back? You never get to see that.
And the most important thing about Sena Tomita to me right now is this is pressure cooker time. This is the final of Snow League. There's a huge frontside 1080 into a cab 720. Look at the amplitude from Sena Tomita, frontside 540. There's a backside 540. What does she have for her final hit at the bottom of the pipe? Frontside 9, and she's not gonna squeak in another one. When I called final hit, I said to myself, she's gonna get one more in, but she toned it down. She said, I'm gonna stick with that and see how Maddie Mastro responds.
But what a statement there for Sena Tomita on that first run. 5 hits, close to 11 feet out of the half pipe.
And here we check out the replay, kicking things off with a gigantic frontside 1080 tail grab. Spotner landing all the way around. This is why Sena Tomita qualified yesterday as the 3 seed. However, the woman dropping behind her is the 1 seed in Maddie Mastro. There's a backside 540. And then she caps off her run with a frontside 900.
So now, the number 1 seed, Maddie Mastro, has just seen what her competitor put down. And if there was any question whether she needed the double crippler, I would say she absolutely does.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're gonna see Maddie drop on that left wall. That's her front side. She's gonna be hitting her front side wall, and I think we will see the double crippler.
Come on, you got this, man. Ice cold, I can fucking do this.
You know, T-Bird, we talked earlier about she's got that double 1080. Is it time to pull that out?
It's a very good question. She does have both of those tricks. I think she's setting up for the double crippler. Will she work in the double cork in this run?
What does she have on now?
And it's Mastro with her first run here in the finals at Snow League.
Here we go, women's final for all the marbles. There it is, 1, 2, stop the double crippler into the backside 900. Frontside 540, really good tweak on that grab. Into the backside 540.
The back-to-back 540 combination.
And then the frontside 720. Maddie's gonna get one more in. That is a really good run from Maddie Mastro. She did not need to reach into that bag and pull out the double cork. She's gonna see where the judges put that, if that's gonna give her the advantage going into run 2 of the final. As we check out the replay.
First time she unveiled that was at
Well, and Mastro had to pull out all the stops here, especially with the beginning and this double crippler. Hey, Connor, what is the perspective from the judges on these two runs?
They are talking a whole bunch about where they want to be. Maddie with a very good execution throughout, perfect on that double crippler. The one thing that may hurt her is the difficulty with only the switch frontside 360 at the bottom. We'll see where they put it, but this one's going to be close.
Hey Connor, where are they setting ranges for finals? Are they not scared to put something up in the 90s if need be because it's the final?
Yeah, so the range, where they're going to put these riders and where these scores are going to be, they're kind of staying in the same area they have been for the entire competition, but knowing that they have plenty of space to go up and down whether or not the riders land or do better than the other rider.
Okay, scores coming in. We'll see exactly where the judges place both of those riders.
If you were to ask me who I think's got it on this first run out,
Yeah, and a lot of deliberation,
it's gonna be tight.
especially on those runs here in the finals.
We're seeing the score from Kyle Choi Mitsuki. Those are not Maddie and Sena's scores right there.
And the score's coming in at that 91.25, so Sena Tomita with the advantage, taking it there on run one. Mastro scored at 85.5.
Did you hear the scores?
Not quite enough.
Did you hear scores?
But we will have that second run.
So still waiting to get just confirmation on those scores.
Yeah, it's weird.
Can you ask for a score? Is it possible?
I only have the broadcast truck for the judges to see.
So it's an 85 for Mastro and a 92 for Sena Tomita on that first run. So that run will go to Tomita.
Wow. Okay, so for the first time, Maddie Mastro is not in the driver's seat going into run 2 of the final.
So she'll have to go back up and she can force it. She can force a run number 3. And we are going to get back to the top for the finals. This is run number 2. Sena Tomita, Maddie Mastro. The current leader right now is Sena Tomita, so she will drop first in this second run here in the finals at the first Snow League event of this season.
And right now it's all about momentum for Sena Tomita. She's been the only woman here that has wrestled it away from Maddie Mastro. Maddie Mastro has been in control since yesterday morning. Right now, there's no question, it's Sena Tomita in the driver's seat.
Absolutely. Yeah, she's put together some of her best runs here in these semifinals and now finals.
So dropping in on her backside wall for run 2. This is Sena Tomita starting things off with a big backside air. Will we see the front side 1080? We will, but she goes down having the same problem as Mitsuki Ono on the same wall.
So that opens the door now for Mastro to come in and win this second run and force 3 runs here in the finals. I want to see it. I want to see 3 runs.
What's interesting now is, Sena Tomita just went down on her second hit. So Maddie does not need to do a lot to win this run and then force it to a tiebreaker. She can definitely take it a little bit easy as we see what went wrong here for Sena Tomita. The pop looked good, the speed looked good, maybe just not quite enough amplitude. Almost the exact same thing we just saw with Mitsuki Ono.
We talked about the endurance throughout this competition, and now, they've been riding
To get to the bottom of the pipe.
a lot. All right, so what this does is Maddie Mastro now has the door opened for her. As she stands at the top, she just needs to put a couple tricks down.
And remember, if this were a traditional contest that wasn't going by these Snow League rules of dropping in on both walls,
Just snowboarding?
there's no doubt Maddie would be dropping on the other wall.
Have fun.
Keeping it light, keeping it carefree, going back to that ethos that Maddie's been saying this entire season. Trust your mind, trust your body, trust your tricks.
Run by run, trick by trick. So what this is telling me, T-Bird, is she's warming up. She's still visualizing. She's still getting that shoulder movement.
And Sena Tomita just has to sit down there and watch and wait for those scores to come in.
Probably going over in her head, what went wrong? How do I fix that? So now we just need to see Maddie Mastro put together a run to force this final competition to 3 runs.
And here she goes. Women's final here at Snow League, run 2. Maddie Mastro, the #1 seed, coming into the final. Backside 900 from Maddie Mastro, starting things off very well into the front side 540, into the backside 5. Frontside 720. Okay, she's doing everything right now. There's the hawk and flip. She's gonna sneak one more in, frontside 540. Maddie Mastro did exactly what needed to be done to win this run and force a 3rd.
And here's the key. We're gonna watch the replays, but here's the key. She is the #1 seed, and we talked earlier how important it was to be the #1 seed, especially in a situation like this. So Maddie Mastro came into this. She needed to land at least these first couple tricks, get a big score under her belt to force a 3rd run, and started off with that backside 900.
And that right there, she could have done that 5, but she chose to go 9.
You almost need to just stay in that competitive high level. But the #1 seed, as they take their 3rd runs, will go last. So she now will have the opportunity to watch and see what her competitor does and react.
And she can also react by dropping into frontside as her first hit with the double crippler. So the main thing here that I've kind of taken away from this is if you're one of these competitors, one of these athletes, don't think too far in advance. Keep it run to run, trick to trick.
Yep.
It's literally going to come down.
And that's been so key for Mastro throughout this competition. All right, so the women's final here at Snow League is forced to a 3rd and final run. We will know shortly who will take the win here at the women's halfpipe final. We'll be back shortly.
It is getting good. We are on to the 3rd and final run of the women's finals. Sena Tomita as well as Maddie Mastro going at it. Jack Collinsworth, Tina Dixon, T-Bird with you. I'm curious about being the #1 overall seed, though. How key is that for Maddie Mastro in the ability now to go last in this 3rd run?
Well, and you're seeing what this new format, this suspense that it breeds, right? Sena Tomita took control of this event, this final, in run 1 by posting a score of 95. Maddie came in at 92. Maddie came in at 85, and then all of a sudden on run 2, Maddie in one run took all of that control back. Now she gets a drop in 2nd on her comfortable wall, and she can start off her run with that double crippler.
Yeah, we talked throughout the competition just how important it was to be that #1 seed, because you have the power. And you never know if it's really going to come into play in these, final runs. And this is the perfect example of where she clearly has the advantage going into this 3rd and final run.
So T-Bird, what are you talking with your coach about at this point in the competition?
We've actually had these riders mic'd up. We've been hearing her coach, Danny Cass, talking with her, Maddie Mastro. She's just keeping it light, keeping it easy, keeping it fun. She keeps saying this is just snowboarding. Yeah. It's not that serious. And that's the mindset that Maddie needs to take into this 3rd and final run.
That's when she performs the best. When she is just lighthearted, having fun and enjoying it. And this year, I really have seen such a change in her competitive attitude, and it's been paying off for her. It's been paying a lot of dividends. And we can see if it'll pay off for her here in this 3rd and final run.
What's the strategy? What's the run design to leave here a champion if you're Mastro?
I think if you're Maddie Mastro, you got to throw the double crippler. She's probably going to do it on her first hit. Will she do the double cork on top of it to really put the cherry on top of this thing? Time will tell. But she does have the benefit of watching Sena Tomita drop in, and then she gets the ability to respond. So she can kind of adjust her level of intensity and decide what it's going to take for her to win.
So Connor, take me to the other side of this with Tomita. What should Tomita's strategy be going first in this final?
I think she just really needs to stick with what she had been doing in her first run and through semifinals as well. She was executing everything well, doing it at about 10 feet above the lip. If she can repeat that execution and that amplitude with the difficulty of tricks that she had, she stands a really, really good chance of really putting Maddie under the gun.
Yeah, because lest we forget, Sena Tomita's first run was a 92. That has been the highest score of this entire heat. So if she can replicate run 1, she's really going to put the pressure on Maddie Mastro.
Yeah, but in this case, I think if Maddie was the first rider to drop, then you really start to think about, like, do I do the double crippler? Do I do the double 1080? Well, now she does have the luxury to sit back, see what Tomita does, and react. All right, here we go, the third and final run for the women's half-pipe final here at Snow League. It is Sena Tomita that will be dropping first, and then Maddie Mastro will get the luxury to sit and watch what she does and react and put her run down.
And the big trick here for Sena Tomita is land that front 10. If you're going to throw the front 10, she had trouble with it on her last run. That's why she came in with a score of 10. Her first run score was 92. She's going to try to replicate that and put the pressure on Maddie Mastro for the final run.
And Tomita's one of the most consistent riders, one of the most consistent athletes out here. So
yeah, two-time Olympian. She's been in the pressure cooker before. The same can be said for Maddie Mastro. This is really shaping up to be an incredible final run. So Sena Tomita starting things off on her frontside wall. There's that frontside 1080. She puts it down. Let's see how the rest of her run goes. Cab 7, under-rotated just a little bit into the frontside 540. And there's the backside 5. What's she gonna do here? Frontside 900. And then a backside air. This officially just got real.
yeah, and Sena Tomita did everything that she needed to do in that run.
And we don't get to see the score. Maddie Mastro doesn't get to see the score. She just has to speculate where the judges will put that.
You look at that, you're like, she did this many hits, she went this high, these were her rotations, and she started off, you said how important this frontside 1080 was for Tomita. She landed it, set the tone for the rest of her run.
I knew it as soon as she left the lip. You can just tell, she had the speed, she got the grab, the full rotation comes around, she got good eyes on the landing and was on to the next wall. There's the switch frontside 720. She does miss the grab. Again, those are things that are pretty hard to see in real time because they're going so fast and so high. But these slow motion replays, these are what the judges are poring over right now because the numbers that accompany this run are for all the marbles.
And again, we've talked about this before, how important every trick is, how important every grab is, and this is a scenario where it becomes more true than ever.
Leave no points on the table, especially when Maddie Mastro is dropping in to her frontside wall.
Am I good?
Good.
So now
High five?
it's Mastro's turn.
Very good.
It's just snowboarding. It's not that serious. This is just snowboarding. Not that serious. Have fun. It's exactly what she wants to manipulate your thoughts. 1, 2, catch, backward, snap, grab, pull, stomp. 5, 7, light. Legs from one, stomp. I can fucking do this. Oh, what she is!
Mastro ready to drop in
Don't give a shit!
with his third run.
And you could hear her walking through the progressions of that run. She basically told us, we will see the double crippler.
I can do this. Have fun.
And here she goes.
This is it, the final run here in women's finals. Maddie Mastro, here comes the double crippler. 1, 2, stomp. Coming into her first at the amplitude meter. Frontside 5 stalefish. Into the backside 5 stalefish. Frontside 720. Here comes the hawk and flip. It all comes down to this. That will dictate the final. Maddie Mastro, the maestro, putting it down.
This is going to be close.
Oh, the crowd is loving it. We're waiting for those scores to come in.
Hey, Connor, I mean, we are biting our nails. What are the judges doing right now?
Like T-Bird said, they are watching on repeat that last hit for Maddie Mastro, seeing how much of a butt check she actually had on there, and then it's going to be down to them weighing was what she did up at the top with the double crippler in the 9 enough to take over Sena's run, who also had some poor execution on some of her tricks. So this is going to come down to the wire. It's going to be real close.
Yeah, and this is for all the marbles. Make no mistake about it. There are no more women dropping into this pipe. This is for first place, second place. We already know that 16-year-old South Korean Gaon Choi has locked down third place. This will round out the podium. Who will be the champion? And the lip of the pipe is just blocking it from our view. We could not see the imperfection there. That is up to the judges for them to decide.
Yeah, but she powers through. Here's another look. Oh. And she taps.
Was it enough? Did that tap save her from falling?
So this is where it's in the judges' hands.
Oh, they're killing me.
I would love to see that replay one more time. I mean, it's just the margins are so small.
So this is earlier in the run.
My feet are going up.
And then we want to look at that last hit that she does. Right here.
Here it is. Right there. Was that enough to keep her on her feet?
Well, Connor also said that the judges were, going back and forth between the two athletes.
I think you got it.
Sena had a couple mistakes also.
What?
I mean, they say that Super Bowls are won on 3 plays, right? The margins are so small when you're in an elite environment in any type of final. It's Sena Tomita.
There you go! By 0.5. Sena Tomita will take the win here in the women's half-pipe final at the inaugural Snow League event. Wow! Talk about some drama.
$50,000 and 100 Snow League World Championship points are going to Japan's Sena Tomita.
I mean, incredible performance. You can see the emotion. Naoko, I'm gonna send it down to you with the winner.
Another third run clutch performance for Sena Tomita. また3番目のランで決めましたね。現在のお気持ちをちょっとお聞かせください。
もう本当に嬉しいです。やっぱりスノーリーで1回目の大会で優勝できたのはすごい私にとっても大きなものになるんじゃないかなって思います。
She is so happy to have won the inaugural Snow League event, and she does feel like maybe this is the start of something really big for her. これはあなたにとってどういう意味を持ってますか？
どういう意味？なんだろう。上手に言葉にできないけど、でも本当に最高です。ありがとうございます。
I asked her what this means to her, and she says it's really hard to put into words, but it is so awesome. やっぱこれはあなたにとってキャリア的には どういう瞬間ですか？
そうですね、今年すごいハードな、大会のシーズンで、本当、はいもう本当やっぱ1回目っていうのがすごい私にとって優勝できたのは大きいし、こうやってたくさんの方が来ていただいて、新しいこういうイベントも開催されて、スノーボード界もっと盛り上がったらいいなって思います。
She got really emotional because it was a really tough season for her, and to be able to get this win in the inaugural debut Snow League event in front of all these people means so much to her.
本当におめでとうございます。ありがとうございます。
It goes so close. She kept it. Sena stayed on her feet. Maddie put her butt down.
Oh, and big congratulations to Sena Tomita taking home the first women's win here at Snow League. What a performance by Sena Tomita. What a performance by Maddie Mastro. She will finish up on the podium in that second place spot, and then also Gown Choi. But T-Bird, I gotta throw this to you. Final thoughts here on this inaugural Snow League.
Tina, half a point.
Half a point.
78.5 to 78. Maddie Mastro missed out on the win by half a point, and I can't believe it came down to the very last part of the very last trick of the women's final.
You know, there was so much fantastic riding throughout this entire competition. The athletes were forced to do the very best of the best snowboarding they could possibly do, and we saw it. We absolutely saw it. We saw the drama, we saw the progression, we saw the talent, a little bit of everything. And congratulations to all the women athletes that competed here today. And a big congratulations there to Gown Choi on the right for third place, Maddie Mastro for finishing up on the podium in second, but a giant congratulations to Sena Tomita.
And here we see Snow League athlete manager Rachel Warren giving out the Snow League wreaths. In the middle, Sena Tomita with the win. On the right, in third place from South Korea, Gown Choi, and the USA's Maddie Mastro taking home second place. What a show here in Aspen. Actual nail biter. Actual.
Yes. A phenomenal showing from all the women. Phenomenal showing from the women here in the finals. Final results look like this here at the inaugural Snow League for the women's half-pipe competition. It is Sena Tomita who takes the win, followed by American Maddie Mastro in second place and Gown Choi into third. We will be back with more here from the Snow League.